Hi.
We're back.
Cool.
Last drawings here. So, changes from the last, so we added these 3 windows in here. First floor, rear elevation, and we've got second page, just show that.
Straightforward to me, I wasn't here,
That
but.
was, I think that was a blind facade and now you
Yeah.
have
Yeah,
the,
okay.
that's,
Yeah, okay,
it's
cool.
good.
Great.
And you have the, you put whatever the materials on the siding, this or is there?
Yeah.
Those are the doors where you wanted the.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's very nice.
Thank you.
So those are for me. I'll fold it. Thank you. You're all set.
Okay, great.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot. Have a good night.
Everything's about the whole thing.
The next one is the Taco Street sign.
So is that the old Dunkin' Donuts one?
Yes. And then so we needed more detail about the sign. This is what they presented. This
This
is
is
what
the-
this is what the revised.
Oh, so this was last time?
Yes.
This is this time, okay. Alright, it's not my strong suit. I just wanna see that, I wanna see the whole facade, I wanna see what it looks like on the. Do they have that?
What, were you here, Brian?
He's not here.
Were you here?
Oh, he's not here?
We,
Well, that makes it easy. Good,
Interesting.
bye.
Oh, they're not here?
Yeah.
Good evening.
Hi,
How you doing?
so this is the Hates Cross one.
Yeah, I'm Peter Kurth, I'm the architect. Client couldn't make it tonight, so got tied up or something. You just had me. So I'm sure you're familiar with the project.
No, we're not familiar with the project in any way, shape, or form.
We'll tell you all about it.
Wait, why would you think we're familiar with it?
Right, because you have all these PDFs and you look at the plans.
No.
Well, let me explain it.
Okay.
We are adding to the rear of the house a 4-foot bump out in 2 directions to accommodate a country kitchen and an island. In addition, let's just describe it here.
Could you orient us, like, where we are, you know, like the Google Earth and like,
Oh, yeah,
you know,
yeah,
all that
okay.
stuff?
All right, sure. Sure, we did all that.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
Okay.
Alright,
Here's the road. Here's the Deckel house. These pictures of the Deckel house.
oh, okay.
That's the existing house.
Yeah, you can see it's sort of a 70s contemporary, A-frame contemporary. And I took pictures of the surrounding homes. It's a medley of styles.
Yeah, and everything's set back.
Yeah, and you really can't even see this house from the road.
Okay,
Okay, most of them you
well,
can.
that's good, it's just useful for us to know the context.
No, sure,
Alright, now, so sorry to interrupt you.
So it's okay, so, we're at the back of the house, so we adding 4 feet here, 4 feet here to accommodate an island and a larger kitchen. We're also adding a new breakfast dinette area. And design-wise,
So where's that on the elevations here?
the elevation's right here. So what we did is we picked up the A-frame.
Oh, I mean on the existing, like where on the existing house are we?
Here we
talking
go.
about this?
Okay, This is the rear of the house, we are adding right here. See, it's a steep sloping drop off, there's a deck, and you really can't see, this is another example, we're pushing out here. Onto the deck,
Okay, alright, so,
So this is the existing deck?
yes.
but you're taking it down.
No, we're taking it down, we're
We're
proposing.
just making it smaller,
Right,
yes?
yeah, exactly. So we're coming out 4 feet here,
Yeah,
4 feet there,
Okay.
and we're pushing this out.
Yeah.
okay.
Right
so
here.
All on the same level,
Yes, all the same level,
and adding the roof on it.
okay? So this breakfast, design-wise, we wanted to mimic the feeling of this. And that's this here, this is the bump out you're seeing head-on. And we're using the same siding, same windows, same roofing. You know, all materials will match.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, this is, that's the surrounding house.
Yeah, so we just wanna see the other elevations,
Sure,
if you,
that's the small foundation, you can see the
For
up
the,
there.
for the addition. And this,
Yeah, there's an option, they may not do it because we're taking away a little bit of deck area and the deck is rather small. We're applying for a permit to extend the deck.
oh, I see. So you need a variance because you are within, is that what you?
But no, oh, there's a huge,
So you are going to do the bigger deck?
yes,
Okay.
yes. So this is the same as this drawing here.
okay.
And the other elevations, and this is just a roof plan. It shows you that this is the addition, that's the new roof. And the
And the elevation you had, it
Yeah.
was that little, that thing?
This is the rear, looking head on,
Right, and so this is it?
looking this way,
Right, no, I know. So that's the one
yes.
here.
And this is just a color version of this. And the other,
There we go.
this is the side view.
Uh-huh.
So this is looking this way.
Yeah.
Shows the projection here, and we have two cross sections going through it. We're trying to, even with the new deck, we want to keep the trees.
Sure.
The trees will be going.
And where is that little roof? That one in here?
That one is right here. You can see it pushed out here. It might be better to see it in the section. You can see it here. This is the kitchen, this is the breakfast area. On the
Is
plan,
the slope of the roof here
Yeah.
is like that, and how's
Yeah.
it coming out then?
Yeah, I'm confused as
So is it-
well. Is
Is
this,
it because normally it would have to be either straight or come out?
yeah, well, you can see on the roof plan, that it's very similar to the A-frame roof over here. See, the house ends right here, so this is the angle, and then the gable ties back into the sloping roof.
wait, I guess what we're both confused about, I know I'm doing, I have.
Side elevation.
Yeah, what's happening here, I don't see,
Straight line.
yeah, I don't see the windows, I see what's
Well,
behind
it's,
it.
because you're seeing at an angle, you see, this is that door here, right there?
Right, but
And you're just seeing a part of this because it's foreshortened.
Which
Right.
part, which is that part that's foreshortened?
Right here, right here. This is what's beyond.
Right, but what
we're
roof
talking
is
about the
this?
roof.
This is the roof of the dinette.
Right, but why is it like that?
Why is it
Not-
coming-
not like that?
Because it slopes out just like the other roof does.
Oh, it goes like that?
Yes, projects.
It's kind of mimicking
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
the larger.
Right.
Yeah, that's the idea,
right,
whatever this is
Yeah.
here,
It's basically
we wanted
the-
to keep it in character by doing the
the
exact,
ridge
it's just,
is sticking
Yeah.
out
it's a,
and going
it's
back.
a
Yeah,
miniature,
okay,
it's a
all
mini,
right,
it's
yeah,
a miniature.
We got it, It's actually,
It's nice.
yeah, nice.
Now, I haven't been here in a while, s- on the back of houses, everything goes to architecture review?
Yeah, oh yeah,
Or sometimes only the front door,
yeah, no,
We wanna see everything.
Yeah, we wanna see everything.
Well, we're proud of the design and we wanted to, basically, it'll look, when it's done, it'll look like it was always there.
Yeah, no, I think it's quite nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, well, thank you for your time.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you. I was wondering what they were gonna do, cause I drive by that house every day, but at the end of the day, you can't really see it from the road anymore,
Yeah,
so it
yeah,
doesn't really-
they're doing nice treatment to the back.
Yeah, so it's nice.
So you know their house?
Yeah, but you can't really see it, and
Yeah.
especially
Winter maybe.
in the winter you can see a little bit, but
Yeah.
yeah, in the spring, summer, you can't see that.
I haven't seen marker work like that in 30 years. The marker, the elevation. of the
Yeah,
marker.
you know,
It's been 30 years.
I never did it on paper, only on trace. Marker work on trace is so nice. I think it, it gets a little streaky on paper.
Unique set of drawings, actually.
Whatever, you know.
Yeah.
I'm a dinosaur too when it comes to rendering, so don't.
Nothing wrong with dinosaurs.
That's me.
Taco Street is here.
Who's not there?
Taco Street is here.
Oh, tacos.
Sorry for the delay.
It's okay. So we have the elevation too.
Well, we
Oh, yeah, good,
have a
'cause-
little some.
That, yeah, no, I wasn't here last time, so I would love to see,
Oh, okay.
How it fits in.
yeah, how it fits in.
That was the elevation.
Oh, that's the old one, yeah. Oh, the old and then the new, got it.
Right, right.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is
Uh-huh.
the older. It
Oh,
used to be
so-
Dunkin' Donuts.
So we're not, are we looking at the elevation of the street?
We're looking at just the sign.
Just the sign, just the thing.
We already, we had
Oh,
approved.
yeah, we
elevation was
did, and I was
Yeah,
here
the
that day, I
elevation was
remember.
Right, right.
It was
It's
last
about to
year.
be open.
It was last year, yeah.
Yeah, and we are just applying for the sign now. So these materials that we resubmitted, or that we submitted to clarify the sign,
Yeah,
are produced by the sign company, and it explains the specific size that the panel itself is gonna have, and the size of the lettering, the way it's gonna be mounted, and this little sample is roughly half of the size of it. That's to show.
okay.
Yeah, it's it's gonna be 9 feet up, and the big panel, the gray panel, is gonna be about almost 2 feet.
And the lettering?
The lettering is gonna be about 17 inches, 17 and 3/4. 17 and 3/4. Yeah, so it's about twice this size. Right. These bands, are existing, and that's what they
Yeah,
have.
that's what dictates
So
it.
our proposal was to use the whole band with this gray at the back, and then mount the lettering like that with these spacers. And the shadowing is going to be painted on the flat.
Yeah, I'm not the sign expert amongst us. I rather like it though, so I'm just.
Yeah, I like it here, although this proportionally is very different
Right.
from
Right,
this.
He
It's
just
just a-
made
he
he
just
just
is-
made this one.
Just to show us the materials.
The material, the
you
color
You see how thick,
is-
you
yeah.
know.
Yeah, it is, and you see the thickness of this. I was telling the design
He's
guy,
just
we don't like
explaining.
this. We just want a little light.
Okay, so you
Right.
are going to actually reduce that, yes?
Right. It's gonna. It
Look
has to look like this, mounted like that with those colors.
Right, so this is mostly for materials.
Materials.
Yeah, it does
And-
not
and-
represent design because.
Materials, colors,
Right,
and the system
colors,
itself.
Nice,
Um,
you know, it's
as long
good
as
that they
it's
did
not,
that.
yeah, this is the.
Well, this is the contract that-
that's-
Right, right.
Yeah.
That's what we are asking
the-
him
Yeah.
to produce.
I have to see,
and,
yeah,
I think he may have this letter left over from some other stuff.
Uh-huh.
That's,
It's just that,
and he printed this. It's too thick. I told him that we just want that little
right, very thin,
line.
thinner.
Right.
Yeah, I like the sign.
What's the material again?
Well, this aluminum. This is an aluminum
This-
panel, and this is plastic.
Okay.
It's plastic. That's a generic detail for the spacers that he uses.
Yeah,
That they use when mounting.
And there's no light.
No, not light. Not light. All of the other signs are not lit up, so you know, we spoke about it last time,
So
and
when are you opening?
pretty soon we hope.
That's good.
Yeah, the interior is almost done, and
That's really exciting.
Square inches. Is it within the?
It's 2 feet tall or less,
Yeah?
yeah,
and the length of the sign?
it's 14. I mean, the whole thing is 14 feet. We had when we presented that this elevation. We had this note here that said, "The proposed sign shall be mounted flush. In order to match the location of the existing neighboring signs, the proposed sign will cover the entire width of the commercial space being renovated, which is more or less 15 feet."
It's similar to the.
And will be-
station.
And will be, yeah, it's because of that. It will be 2
Yeah.
feet. So it exceeds. It's almost 28 feet
Yeah, you're
square.
doing it basically brick pier to brick pier.
Right, right. Which exceeds the regulation of, I think it's 80 square feet, what we're allowed, but it's because we're keeping it on being the band that is existing there.
All right, I will look at it. You may be going for a variance,
Okay,
yeah, because it does exceed the required
right.
8 feet that is usually length.
And I'm sorry, if the lettering is within the 8 feet,
Then we would be all right.
because that's what we are, that's what we are
Yeah, he's
ultimately
just
proposing.
he's putting a, you know, an aluminum
The back room.
fascia back.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
As
but
long
the
as
sign
you're 8
itself.
feet, you're 8 feet no more with the
Yeah.
letters, then you're
Right.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to.
Yeah.
The actual.
Well, this is the first time I'm seeing it.
That may be more than 8 feet. I'm looking at it now. We have 90 inches by 17,
Yeah, you have 90 inches.
the entire lettering, yeah.
90?
90 inches, yeah, the
90
lettering.
point half.
Well, 96 is 8 feet, so
Right, but by 17 it's a little more than
we're allowed 24 inches.
No,
You're right.
the length is 8 feet and it's
Yeah.
less than 8.
oh, I
It's
thought
fine.
it was 8 square foot. So
No,
it's
no,
8 feet.
total length.
Oh, length.
Of the letter,
Oh, so I
yes.
misinterpreted. Oh, so I think we comply.
Other signs have requirements of total square inches.
Right,
and-
right.
But not this parameter.
So I think we comply because it's 90-inch wide. The lettering. Then the rest is just a
Yeah.
background.
I
Yeah.
mean, it
Agreed.
looks like a very reasonable, nice sign to me.
Excellent.
It fits the surroundings.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
Okay.
it's just like the
Yeah, look at it.
pizza station and the cleaners and
All right, so
looks great.
it's okay with us.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
Thank you.
All right, well, can
Thank
we
you
eat
very
tacos next week, huh?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, good luck.
give us 3 more weeks.
Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet. The Board of Health has to speak first.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you go in 3 weeks and eat tacos, it's at your own risk. We haven't spoken with the health.
Fair enough.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I make tacos at my own risk at home all the time.
Extra hot
We
sauce
do
kills
that.
everything.
Exactly. The Scoville's above 10,000. 100,000.
Now it goes to Tom, and we have to find out what else is left to issue the permit
For the sign.
for the sign.
Okay.
You're
We need
approved
the,
here.
are you from the sign company?
No, I'm
Alright,
the architect.
I'm going to need the sign company's insurance,
Okay,
to need workers' comp, disability, you have to submit all that.
right.
So without that, I can't issue a permit, so if you will speak to
And
them-
we'll submit it through
to the building
Daisy.
department, yeah, Daisy, that'd be fine.
Very good. So his insurance works comp, liability. Very good.
If
Thank
you
you.
get that to us pretty soon, we can issue that right away.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay.
Old Farm Road.
Last time there were so many people, but today,
Yeah, you cleared it out for us.
oh, you were not here.
You know, Steve had the pleasure.
Yeah.
I think he was sorry you took that one.
Sure, I had that same pleasure.
I don't remember why I wasn't here, but I was pretty happy with it.
Yeah. There were only 2 of us.
Yeah.
So we don't have a screen,
No.
but you all have the information, right? In front of you.
We have some.
We have I mean,
You have boards?
we need you to take us through it.
I assume because I gave the disc that you can have it.
No, that's for the website.
Okay.
Do you have a link for it? Is something I can pull up on my iPad?
Yeah, he's got that.
Well,
Okay.
Yeah, it's,
You have some boards, yes?
yeah, these are, I want them to, themselves to explain
Oh.
those stuff.
You are the architect?
Yes. So, just a little history, because we are doing a parking garage expansion on it. But the reason why we're expanding the end of the house is that the developer builder had chopped off the end of the house because he was over the FAR, buildable area. And it caused them to, I mean, the kitchen is stumped up and the dining room is stumped up, and then there's actually footings that go beyond, seen in the plan. It's just the,
First of all, can you just take us through where you are, like, do you have the Google Earth and, like, the
okay.
neighbors
Oh, sure.
and all that stuff?
Just the, yes, the background, like the site, the neighbors, the existing house, and
Yeah,
what you
this-
like, what are you doing?
okay, so you're the people, right?
We are.
Okay, so yeah, the existing house is here and on the Google, sorry, this is a little embarrassing. I assume that we have.
Don't be
a-
embarrassed, just
Yeah.
take us through
It's
it.
fine.
You, it looks like you have all the information,
Yeah,
just-
so, there we are, this is the house. And that's the parking, the drive up from the road. And here's the two neighbors, and here's the ravine, the nature
Preserve, yeah.
preserve.
Okay, so let's see, so these are some of the neighbors.
And, this is a bigger picture of where we are. This is the ravine, the nature preserve, and behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And, here's another scale.
Okay, yeah, no, I know the street much, but let's see, so this is one of the neighbors,
This is the one to the right.
okay,
The one to the left
okay,
from the backyard. And this is from the drive on the other side.
just with looking across the street, okay, cool, now, then, let's bring us back to the house itself,
There's the front.
okay?
So expansion would be to the left,
Okay,
to the right.
so you're basically,
to the
it's a
right.
garage, is that the idea?
The main purpose for us doing it is because the garage is nearly impossible to get in and out of. We do not use it unless there's a snowstorm and we wanna be able to get our cars out of the driveway. Otherwise, we park in the driveway, we can't use the garage because of the size of it and the turning radius to be able to get in.
So the garage is down there, so you're gonna build something here?
Yeah, the footings are actually 6 foot out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the developer had cut it off, because to meet the FAR.
And the redesign will put the doors in the front, so we can just pull straight in.
Sure. Like where the car is parked, in other words,
Yes,
where the car is parked here is where you're building the
Sure,
garage.
exactly.
Okay, are you building anything other than the garage?
So the plan is to,
Yeah.
so where the,
Essentially the
yeah,
Yes.
where this little section, I think
Uh-huh.
it's 8 feet,
Yeah.
about
6
8
feet,
feet,
6 feet.
comes out. We would just extend the house up 6 feet there.
Got it, okay.
And that was
So
be
the
the
house
only
would-
addition to the house,
I
that would
understand.
add the 6
Yep.
feet.
So you are adding all this,
Yeah. Alright, so.
Correct, and that would add 6 feet to the dining room, living
And
room,
then
and the
the
2
garage.
kids' bedrooms.
Right.
And this is the current cozy situation because of the chop off. And also, yeah, for the kids' room, so they can have a desk space. That's it.
Alright, so take us through the elevations. Or the plans and the
Yeah.
elevations, I should.
Preliminary, but anyway. Here we go, this is, sorry, this is crazy. Here's the basement. This is the current garage. And so it would be 2-car garage here, and then we come in and pull in the 3rd car. And the-
Oh, so you're gonna keep the existing garage as a third bay underneath, got it? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, got it.
And so we pull up and the steps and get to the back. There's a big rock right here that is the reason why this is complicated.
Okay, so, just,
And here's the roof garden on top of the flat roof. And then there's that little extension, the kitchen and dining. And there's the bedrooms upstairs.
Also expanded.
Yeah.
Alright, and how about the elevations?
Here's the rear. You see-
Yeah, let's start with the front.
Okay. Sorry. Here's the front.
And this elevation,
Yep. So you
Okay.
don't really see this part because of the,
Alright, so you're putting big windows there.
right,
and windows in the bedrooms.
in the bedrooms, yeah.
So the only thing, the other elevation was kind of, that's,
There's
So it's a flat roof with a garden on top, I mean.
right, the grade actually drops down and
Yeah.
it's-
oh, there's a roof garden?
Well,
Yeah.
the purpose of the garden is to give the neighbors something nice to look at. Right now, they look at our cars. So by having the garden there, it it gives them something nice to look at.
And this is about 6 foot drop right here, so they barely see, they just see about 3
Yeah.
feet.
It's flat.
What's this little?
That's because in the plan, we have a side door, so you don't have to open up the garage doors every time you go in. Here's a detail, you see, it's a little canopy just to,
It's a can, okay.
And how about the materials? Is it,
same,
is everything the
Just-
same?
a little nicer garage doors.
So from the back, it's really kind of invisible, it's just burned into the,
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
let's see,
The garage is not.
I had a look,
You can't show on the side because there's not there.
I took, there was a couple of pictures I took.
so I don't see a parapet or anything, I mean, when you're up in the garden, what are you gonna stop you from falling down?
The idea was to put a, like ferns and evergreens, so you don't have to go mow there, and it's just gonna be a wire.
Yeah, and it's not intended for us to be out there. It's not like our deck is gonna be over to the side. It's not intended for outdoor living space for us at all.
Minimal wire, guardrail, so,
Is that indicated somewhere, I did, that,
no,
I just.
it's not.
I think that from your standpoint, I mean, what's the deal?
If it's accessible to get onto it, then we're
No.
gonna need some kind of a safety railing to stop people from falling.
No,
on
no,
it.
yeah, there will be, so I to put let's say, a top rail and then wire,
You could do the wire system, but it would need to be capable of stopping a 4-inch sphere from passing through and having
Sure. Oh,
kids
yeah.
not climb
Yeah.
over it.
yeah, it's a
Yeah,
standard.
but the point is, if you have to show it, I mean, and you'd have to detail it, we need to know what it looks like. I mean, I personally don't have an issue with that, but it needs to be developed further for us to approve it.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I've done it many
Yeah.
times, so it's okay. Yeah, I bring a product that shows the,
But not just, incorporate it into the
context, yeah.
drawings, and so that there's sort of a section that shows
Sure.
how it's gonna work.
uh,
Otherwise,
the idea was to have, you don't mow it and you don't play there, because then you end up with all kinds of problems.
well, you could end up with all kinds of problems anyway.
The
Different problems perhaps, but,
Gardener can go, but, because otherwise it gets too busy and complicated, and it raises the,
Well, I mean, so what exactly, what's the structure and, the waterproofing, I mean, it's a fairly complicated thing to,
very standard. We call actually green roofs. In the city you have lots of them, and it's actually one of those things that we were supposed to do preferably.
What
well,
is
it
the-
sounds like.
What is the pounds per square foot you're building that roof at to
Oh, I'm gonna have
support?
my structural engineer
Cause you've got
Have a
the
heavy
load
deck.
of the earth.
I'm gonna have
and
a
then
heavy metal deck because
30
we have
pound snow load you could have on there.
Right, yeah,
That's sort of more your thing, but I just wanna,
Yeah.
I mean, it just seems like there'd be a lot of things to look at.
Achievable, but it is a structure.
Yeah, no, I have my sound engineers, he will
Yeah.
do it, I'm putting heavy duty metal, since we have a ceiling, I don't wanna go another foot just because of,
That's the,
if you have 2x12s and then you have to do all the rest of it.
no, we can't.
Why not?
So you're pouring a steel deck, putting a steel deck and pouring concrete?
It doesn't
Oh,
support
into the
because you
setback.
just
Oh,
have the deck,
I don't.
Well, no, why,
which is heavier gauge and you don't have to put,
Oh,
just
I
put
see,
a,
you mean, yeah, I assume he
gypsum,
has to get a
what do you call it,
variance.
one of
He has
those
to
boards
have
on
a
top.
variance, yeah.
I mean,
He's before the zoning board.
yeah, that's,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
I mean, I
Oh,
assume
yeah.
that
So it's
that's
like
sort of
Variance
thing,
for
yeah.
change of ton.
Yeah, you're right on the property line.
Yeah,
I pay for the extra heavy gauge, but I don't have to do the concrete.
And how do you waterproof that?
You put in sort of a panel on top of it, and then you lay it on top of that.
Is there any heat in this garage?
I am
Drainage.
drainage, but I'm also making sure that there's a separation between the old and new garage in the winter, that they can temper the floor. To it.
So you'll have to describe all that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not the purpose of tonight's meeting.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I mean, the only thing is that we don't have the details of the railing and
Yeah.
the guardrail.
Is that
It-
something that he needs to return for?
yeah,
It'd be good to see,
The
Yeah.
rail.
yeah,
so that there is a complete picture of how it
of
should.
how it looks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No.
Could
And you could do, with, you know, sort of a pretty picture.
Yeah, could you tell us the height from the steps to the roof decking as they're coming up? Is the top stairs, close to the top of that surface?
It's going to
Yeah.
be
Access. Because you go
90.
That's from the grade level to the top. And you come up that staircase, it would be possible to step onto the roof?
I'm keeping it to the back of it, so it's actually.
This is, there's the grade
There's
here,
a-
but then
there's a-
you still have,
yeah, I'm
it's
gonna-
accessible, so you need to
Yes,
have a guardrail, because this is less than 30. I think he's asking the dimension from the deck to the, either the landing or the grade.
Right,
What
you
is
see,
the-
in other
what is
words,
that
yeah,
difference?
and we're gonna have to ask, when you come back, we need to see a more detailed section of what's going on
Yeah.
here, it's all a little
Yeah.
sort of vague.
An elevation.
Over 30 inches is going to require
Yeah.
a railing.
And the walkway is going to be dropped down, I don't have to go up till around the corner. And so what I'm doing is I'm bringing it up, but not at the same level as the.
Right, and it's really not clear what's
So
going
Yeah.
on here.
what, I think the question was what's that distance? We don't know yet.
About 1.5 feet.
So you will need
So
a
you
rail
need to-
on that side. A continuous
This
rail
is
on that.
30 inches. Where you
Foot,
need
foot and a
that
half.
Well, the 1.5 feet is only at that one section. As you start coming down,
Oh, I have the railing on, yes,
Fine.
sorry. I have the railing on here and in the front. But here I only have 1.5 feet about the difference between the roof here and the walkway.
well, that's less than 30, so
Yeah,
that's fine.
yeah, so this side is gonna be,
So the other two sides have railings,
right, these two sides, right.
because even though you say it's a green roof, it still will be accessible.
No,
Right,
yeah,
right,
absolutely,
right.
yeah, I understand, it's all this, and
So yeah, that's
yeah.
good. It's all good, it's just that I guess we would like to see the elevation.
Yeah. Absolutely,
And you're thinking stainless steel cables, is that what
Yeah.
you were?
yeah, it's my go-to when I can, so.
And they're about 3 inches spacing?
Right, because you don't wanna keep it taut, and you don't want them to bend out too much so kids' heads go through.
And you wanna be able to tune them tight enough so you can play a song with them too. I had a client that made me do that. He was a musician and he came out with his toner and said, a little tighter, like, what are you doing? And he played them.
No kidding,
Yeah,
well,
a little
okay.
bizarre, but it worked.
Okay, next time I'll have panels. And I don't have to go through it like this, so.
Alright, so you know,
So April 17th, Wednesday, April 17th, 8 o'clock. And you can email email me the
Oh, so
revised
it's
plans?
that quick?
2 weeks.
Oh, thank you. I was kind of thinking how it could be that quick. I don't know how it.
Is that, what day is that?
It's Wednesday, in 2 weeks.
We are here that one, so yes, that's the day for now.
Oh, they're traveling all the time.
So if you can email me or come in with the flash drive of the revised plan so I can put it on the website.
Sure.
And then hard copy for the meeting.
What day?
This,
The 12th, Friday the 12th.
Thank you.
thank you very much.
Have a good evening, thank you.
Is this Ed Phillips, our lawyer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I built a soccer field over a
He's the
basketball
lawyer, he's the
arena,
lawyer for
a
the
practice
architecture review.
basketball facility with a something that's similar to.
The cables?
Yeah.
No, with the whole waterproofing system,
Yeah.
a green roof on top of a usable space.
It's real critical it's done correctly.
Hey everyone.
Good evening.
Hi. I have some pictures.
Okay.
This is a small, that's the front door, and the garage. So, just a couple of small home improvement projects. The roof over the porch leaks, the fencing is kinda ratty, this is all original, house was built around 1998. These columns haven't held up well, so the idea is to put a pitched roof on, and improve the porch, fix the porch essentially. And over the garage doors, a small rooflet. We've got actually a little one on the other side of the house that you can see here.
Yeah.
So, same idea.
To do 3 of them.
Yeah,
Not one.
over all 3 doors.
Oh, there we go.
And that gets stone veneer, the piers, the concrete.
Yeah, these blocks are gonna go away.
It's going to be.
Oh, so it's actually, it's a
stone
one
veneer.
continuous one.
Right.
Is that a standing seam copper on that?
I don't think it's gonna be copper.
Okay, a standing
It'll be
seam.
metal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Something standing.
There's some change to that window above on the front?
You know, these dormers, we nixed this. This is
Oh, nixed,
just
okay.
budget reasons, we're not gonna do that.
So they will remain as they're seen on the pictures?
Yeah, well, these 3 dormers and this one over here aren't gonna be touched, and the same thing for the 2 over the garage.
Just the porch.
Just the, exactly.
So should we have him mark them up on those plans?
We can do that.
If you
Yeah.
want to do it in the future, we can.
Yeah, I mean, we
do
could-
it.
yeah.
We can approve that when they decide to do it.
Yeah, we thought about, the house has to be painted too, and maybe when the painter comes to do that later this year or next year, maybe we would add that back in at that point.
Those are sections through it. Yeah, looks nice.
Okay, thanks.
You lived there since '98?
Since 2000, second owner.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, so,
It's back on my desk, I'll call you.
thank you. Okay. Thanks again, good night, everyone.
Have a good one.
Blind Dog Books, what is this?
Blind dog
It's on
book.
King Street.
Oh, it already exists now?
There's a
Huh?
bookstore
exists?
already on King Street.
This is a
No,
new
this
business.
is where the
New business.
music place was years ago.
Music place, that was
Right up from that, there was an antique store there, I think that's what it was.
Yes, it was an antique.
Oh, yeah, okay, got it. So there's gonna be another bookstore in town?
Hello,
Hello.
where do I sit?
Right there.
Okay, there's fine. Ah,
It's a used bookstore.
Prints and maps.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was really trying to think about what your business model was, but got it, okay.
No, I've been in the, I was a teacher for 40 years, but I also have been in the book business for over 30 years. You know, sort of a side thing, so, and I once had a bookstore in Dobbs Ferry many years ago. So, it's not a dilettantish kind of thing.
Well, even if it
And
were.
Blind Dog Books is named after my blind dog. So that's where it comes from.
That's really a sweet name. I like that.
Even my wife liked it, which I thought she wouldn't.
Yeah, no, I'm really,
Is this the sign, where does it go, or?
is it gonna be in the, where the Amadeus sign was?
It's right next, it's in the same building, in fact.
Oh, it's down the
They're
way, yeah, I see,
upstairs, I'm
okay.
downstairs,
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Look at this.
Oh, I see,
Right there.
right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, it's right where it's-
Would be
So
And
it's
let's
it's
see
it's the same size, you know,
Yeah,
it's
same
it's in
size.
keeping with the other signs, with the other businesses.
And it's white and
Yes,
PVC, one color vinyl graphics.
very straightforward.
I know we spoke about this, but are you keeping the same bracket or putting a new bracket?
He's gonna be putting in, I think he's putting in a new bracket, I'm pretty sure.
and the bracket, so the,
Here, yeah, this is, he's describing it here.
oh, yeah.
Read all about it.
And Blind Dog will be with me much of the time.
Oh, that's nice.
What type of dog?
Well, we never knew, he's a rescue dog from the hurricanes down south,
Does it say it?
year and a half ago or so, and we had just lost our dog of many years. And our daughter, who she has a horse farm in Bedford, and so she knows this woman who does fostering of dogs. And said, well, you need another dog. I said, no. But she said, well, I'll bring it over for Thanksgiving, when you come for Thanksgiving. And I said, okay, well, and she brought the dog over, and I said, Elizabeth, it's a blind dog. But a blind dog learned our house in one day. Which
How
is amazing.
convenient.
No, he's amazing. He's one of the smartest. We've had dogs for a long time. He's one of the smartest dogs I've ever known. But anyway, he's a rescue, and so he's sort of helping me rescue books, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm a sucker for handicapped rescue dogs having.
I'm sorry.
That's okay,
I know, I
that's
wasn't
okay.
trying to plead that way. I really
No,
wasn't.
I mean, I
Because I'm not
really
that
am.
kind of a person.
That's
in
okay,
any
no,
ways.
you don't,
It's
you
more
know,
my
like,
wife
I'm
than I,
practically
but-
in tears, but let's talk about the sign for a second.
Sure.
I'm not really, you know, the major hard ass on the committee here about signs, but we really have been trying to sort of upgrade the signs in the town, and I don't know, what's everyone's, you know, it's vinyl letters on a PVC panel, I don't know.
What did you think?
Yeah, one is thick, I mean, have you thought of doing a nicer sign?
Well, the way I went through this, my wife and I went through it, we went through 99 designs, which
The
is
design is nice.
an online thing, and we had a graphic artist who did it.
Yeah.
And then we accepted this particular one, and then worked with Hudson Sign, I think is the name of the, and this is what they came up with, and we thought it was fine. You know, I don't know what else you would necessarily want.
There's nothing three-dimensional about this, it's a flat letter or a flat sign.
Right, but I
Yeah.
mean, you know, I mean, just like the other signs that are there. I
Well,
mean,
not the Aura sign down the street, that's a carved sign.
So it's not the
the-
design, the
the-
design is nice,
design.
Yeah, we like the nice.
material.
The material, yeah, it's sort of like a lowest common denominator material for a sign. And our current sign regs permit it,
They-
right?
yeah.
They do.
The emphasis has been put on more elaborate.
Like
And-
having
you
it
know,
be
yeah, and
re-carved,
I understand
yeah,
that.
carved
No,
out,
I understand
yeah.
that.
Right.
And I'm working with a budget. And which is already over budget when I, done my, with the bookcases, the things, shelving and all that. So for now, I particularly don't see an issue. And I'm hoping, I have a 2-year lease, and I'm hoping after 2 years, I'm making, not even a profit, I'm breaking even.
Yeah. Well, I'll come in and see you.
Well, the thing is that, when I turned 70, I retired from teaching after 40 years.
What did you teach?
I taught history. I still teach history, in many ways.
Where were you teaching?
First job was in Asheville, North Carolina.
How about your last one?
My last job, my job's was in Saddle River. Before that, I taught at the Harker School in San Jose, and prior to that, I taught for about 15 years at Rye Country Day School, where I was both a history teacher and a upper school librarian. So,
Are you going to get books from, people are going to bring, it's like an old used books?
You get books from all over. People call you, I have books to sell, and so you go look at them. And that's usually the main way you get books. People wanna,
They will contact you.
they'll
So we can
contact you,
contact
somebody,
if we have old
the family estate that they have to deal
books.
with,
Are
so.
there antique books or what type of books?
My books will range from everything from I was just telling somebody downstairs as we were waiting, I said, I have a book for $6.98 about the origins of the Bialy, okay? To $1,000 books and more, which will be displayed, a signed Kurt Vonnegut or signed Eleanor Roosevelt or things like, and leathers. It's gonna be a range. I'll have children's books that'll be cheap.
So I'm just coming back to
Yeah,
a
no.
little bit to learn about the, your business and tie it into the sign, so that the sign a little bit talks about what you have, like very precious, beautiful material that you're going to.
Yeah,
So
but-
the sign, even though it's a nice design, would have a quality a little bit
Yeah, I
that
understand.
resembles what the product that you're selling is, and those very precious books, antique.
Well, they're not gonna all be precious.
Right, but I mean, I
I wanna
understand
sell
there's
to
going to
everybody.
be, I understand, there's a range.
Right,
But there are going to be some nice pieces there. And so I think, like, I agree, we would like to have our town to upgrade
understand
the
that.
quality of
Right.
the signage.
And I live in this town,
because
so, yeah.
I just had a neighbor who was complaining to us, like, oh my God, how can you approve this and that, and I was like,
Well, may I say something?
What was it?
some other sign that was way before.
Yeah. Listen, it's a nice looking design.
This is a nice design,
Right.
it's just, and it's also the way you are advertising your business and the quality of the product, and with the quality of the sign, and it would be nice if there was, I mean, for you as well. And I think we all like, it's modern, it's catchy, it's kind of nice, and it's a nice graphics, but just the material, maybe they don't,
Yeah, listen,
What would you suggest? You're the board, what would you suggest?
well, what I was gonna say is, I mean, I don't see that we have any choice but to, since we like the design, to approve it, but you might, go back to we're encouraging you to go back to the guy who gave you this proposal and see what the upgrade would cost, because you might be happier with it. I'm not so sure you're gonna like what this sign's gonna look like, on this nice.
An upgrade being like something more,
Carved.
like more of a wooden sign or
Or,
something?
it doesn't even, with the TV,
Even metal,
or
like we did
something
the ones-
carved,
no.
so with a little depth.
Even metal, they have variety, they can be, since it is more of a modern look.
How about a letter with thickness to it,
Yeah.
so it has at least a 3-dimension?
The one that they brought us before, the guy who brought us, there was some sort of reveal to it.
Yeah, I mean, I would ask him what he could do for you. I don't doubt that.
Well, no, I'm sure you could do something for me, but it's also gonna cost me more money.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I have a
valid
budget.
point. Yeah, I
Maybe
know.
it's going to be not such a
Maybe
big
it might, maybe it would be
upgrade.
worth it to you if you knew what the upgrade would be.
Mhm.
We're just sending you away with our advice as
Okay.
opposed to
Okay.
anything else. So I wish you good luck with this. I mean, I'm a book lover, but I have to admit I haven't been buying a lot lately. So
Oh, no, I know, I understand that.
And one other
probably gonna
thing
have no
would
more
be,
room.
if they can give us also the size of the letters, even though there's, how big the letters are, would be nice if they were. No, don't you think that would be nice to know how big they are?
Yeah.
Because this is overall.
Well, one thing I will say is, I mean, he's showing it centered in this picture and not in this, so he's actually not really, that,
What's not centered? Let's see.
if you look at the dimension of white below the B here and above the B here,
Mhm.
you'll see that it's not equal, in fact, it's probably 50,
Mhm.
it's probably double the size, whereas here it's equal.
Mhm.
I
yeah.
don't think it's also proportionate to the bracket, it's different here than that a little bit, although maybe not.
No, I think
No,
it's really
maybe
just
not.
so, I mean, I actually don't, mind marking on it that it should, you're right, we need more information. I'm not the sign guru, but we technically need, a more accurate drawing than that, and this has nothing to do with the materials.
And also,
And he owes you that, this is just something that he didn't
Mhm.
provide you,
usually people bring us samples of materials, which is also nice too. I mean, although the vinyl, we know what vinyl looks like,
Vinyl's
but
fine.
it's, yeah.
But if you could bring us something that had the dimensions and have it sort of laid out correctly on the sign, that would be.
So this is not,
Yeah, well,
I would not be able to issue a building permit without dimensions on the sign.
so I can't open my shop that I want to open.
When do you want to open it?
I'm hoping to have all my books delivered Monday in a truck, thousands of books.
Do you have to have a sign in order to open?
I
the
don't have to
business?
have a sign to open it, but
Right,
it's nice to have a sign.
No, of course, but I mean, it can, maybe it's worth to wait for it a little, so.
I mean, the sign wouldn't be ready even if I was ready to open, but.
right, so,
But still, what if I didn't have a sign? What if I had a little flag outside, just said open, and you didn't even know it was used books?
well,
I'm
that-
serious.
yeah.
We have other problems with that, just
Okay.
putting banners up is not in the code.
No, I'm not saying banners, I mean,
Well,
even the Historical Society puts out an open sign in the Historical
Right.
Society. I mean, they do. I'm a member of the Historical Society, and I know what they do.
So you're just gonna hang a small
No, I'm not
flag?
saying that, no, I'm not trying to be obnoxious here, I just,
No,
Well,
no, but
there's no
it's- the
rule that
sign
says
is
you
for
have
you.
to have a sign,
Yeah.
the sign is.
right, but people don't know I have a bookstore otherwise.
Right, so the sign is for you, for your business, to
Correct.
advertise and to have so we are here only to just judge on the, on the quality sizes and
Mhm.
things like that, and we just giving you advice
Okay,
on that. It's not really to tell you, oh, you have to have a sign, or you.
well, I need
don't
to have a sign,
you-
obviously, I want
that's-
people to know I have
The
a
point is, we
bookstore.
like your design, which is, believe me, not
Yeah.
always the case.
It's a nice design.
Your sign guy didn't give you, and he should know better too, cause we see his stuff all the time.
Right, he
Didn't
gave
give
you a pretty picture, but he didn't give us the content we need to judge it by.
Okay,
Okay.
Dimensions are critical, because the town has certain regulations for size of letters, size
Okay.
of signs, square inches, square feet. He has not given us the information so we can do our job. He's gave us a concept drawing, which the design is appropriate.
Mhm.
But again, we were not submitted samples of the materials, the vinyl, the background, the board that's going on, is it sheet metal, is it core board?
Well, it says it's PVC, but
Yeah,
you
it's-
know.
What is the
it says
thickness of the
it's
PVC?
Yeah, he says it's an inch, he says it's an inch, but he
Okay.
doesn't, the sign itself doesn't have dimensions on it.
So he does owe you
Oh,
that,
I think he
something.
did, I think he did have dimensions,
Dimensions of the whole sign, and
Right.
I think that's,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
it's good to have dimensions of the.
Let me put it this way, if he were the designer and you were giving it to someone else to make, they couldn't make it from this. Because it doesn't show exactly what goes where, you know, and that's the kind of dimensions, that's the kind of information he needs to provide to the town, because even though the town's not manufacturing it, it is responsible for saying it's been done correctly, and they can't even say it's been done correctly without knowing, you know, the details. So there's nothing wrong, you know, he'll give you this information. We meet again in 2 weeks on the 17th, and, you know, with any luck, it will all be straightforward
so,
and we can get approved.
okay, so to begin with, the size of the sign is okay,
Size of the sign
the
appears
location of
okay.
the sign is okay.
Yes,
The
the design of the sign,
design of the sign is okay,
Design of the bracket is okay.
the design of the bracket's okay,
Yes.
but you don't like the materials of the sign.
but we're
Is that-
not
but that's
rejecting
not-
it, we're
Yeah.
not telling you you have to
We are
change the
lacking
material.
information, so that would be number one, which are dimensions that are lacking from, the information is provided. The dimensions are lacking
Okay.
on the sign, where
Okay.
it is, the sizes of the letters, how you play.
He knows, but
So that's number one, and the other thing, you know, our advice would, again, the materials, like you said, we don't
You don't,
encourage
you don't
this
like,
type
you don't
of-
like the vinyl.
yeah.
We don't like vinyl signs.
But we're
But
not
we
telling you
like
not
the
to, we're
design,
just telling you
yeah.
to think about it.
Well, no, you are telling me, you're telling me that you
No,
don't
we
wanna,
wouldn't tell you, we
you
wouldn't
don't
tell
want the
you,
vinyl sign, you want something different,
We would like,
yeah.
we're not rejecting it though, there's a
but we,
difference.
yeah, there is a difference because we really, because it's permitted, we can tell you not to use vinyl.
Right,
What we're really sending you away for is a better sign package of information.
Information, we are lacking information at this point. So,
just information about that sign
Yes,
right,
in its present,
right,
Yes.
the
Circumstance.
dimensions of all the elements and how they relate to
so
each
if he came back and he had all of the dimensions and the elements and it's still vinyl, it would still be okay, or not?
yeah, it would.
I mean, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, yes,
I
yes,
mean, I have a
reluctantly,
budget,
yes, reluctantly,
Right,
yes,
right.
that's what we're trying to say, so.
But you might wanna ask him when you're talking about it, is this $200 more for this nice
well,
sign?
it'd be more than $200,
Well,
I know that,
No, you don't, and there are other options than
Right.
just carved wood, I mean, it's,
right,
you know.
I know, I understand, no, I do.
So, you know, well, okay.
Okay,
So we're here in 2 weeks.
Right.
And you're
I just wanna-
immediately on the agenda for 2
okay,
weeks from
so
now.
I just wanna record the
Fair enough.
info so that I know to talk to him about, so, dimensions. Lettering. And, other than vinyl, if possible.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
all right, thank you.
All right, well, and I'll stop by and say hello as soon as I see any sign of life in that building, okay?
Well, I'm hoping late next week or the week after.
Okay,
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
thank you.
You too.
One hour.